going? I'm Jenny.
KB here.
And today we are going to bring you our reactions for part
2
of the Tea Party scene. Yay! Where Jinx abducts some individuals. And definitely, if you haven't seen our part 1 yet, go ahead and check that out. But this is part 2 of 4 of that scene. Alright, let's go ahead and get to it.
Here we go.
Are we still sisters? Nothing is ever going to change that.
So, they're really tight as sisters. The bond is still there even after all those years. Do you think there's anything that can be done to break that?
I think that it's clear when, like, Jinx says, "You never left, you were always here, prickles on the back of my neck, your voice inside my head." I think it's clear that their time spent living as sisters and being close like they were has had a huge effect on Jinx. But that being said, I think Jinx is really stuck in the past. In a way, they both are.
Yeah, in a way
They're both like kind of like, and I think people tend to like romanticize their childhood with their siblings. Like a lot of times, not always, obviously. Sometimes people become like adult siblings and they still don't get along.
Right.
But I think a lot of times like siblings grow up and then get along a lot better and are, you know, because they've moved on and individually and are kind of living their own lives.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I remember when we used to get into fights and we used to punch each other in the face. Haha, wasn't that funny? Right? They kind of get like that. They're like, oh yeah, back in those days. And like when you were in it, it was kind of not great. It was like kind of a shitty situation. But then you're like looking back and laughing on all the times you spent together. I think that that's kind of where both of them are.
Yeah.
Like Jinx obviously is expressing that Vi had a huge effect on her developing and growing into who she is now. I don't think it's the effect Vi wanted to have.
Right.
It's not what Vi wanted for Jinx, but yeah, it's clear that she's still like made a big difference in her life. I also think Vi, up until this point, all the time was talking about getting Powder back.
Right.
That was kind of her two objectives were taking down Silco, getting Powder back.
Yeah, that's true.
And so now it's kind of like you've been gone so long you don't know what Powder is. But I think that she, at this point, like, still has that same objective, just in a different way. She still wants Powder back.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want her to be, you know, doing all this stuff that she just couldn't even imagine. It's just so far outside of what she thought for the future for her and Powder.
Yeah, because if you look at, you know, when they reunite for the first time after so long, and Powder basically says, "I've changed," and then Vi's like, "You did what you could, Pow Pow." And then when the fire
what you had to survive.
Something like that. And then the firelights show up. And then she starts to realize that, you know, Jinx is actually shooting these with her minigun. And she's like, her face looks horrified. Like,
because the way she's shooting, she's like smiling
as
she's doing it.
Yeah.
So she's not doing what she needs to survive. She's taking joy in hurting others. And Vi is just like, that's not what we're about.
Nope.
Or not what we were about. So yeah, I think that in terms of them being sisters, I definitely think at this point, when she asks, "Are we still sisters?" I think that they both are thinking about the past in terms of what it means to be.
Dinky, our cat, is trying to get a lizard.
Yeah, there's a lizard. We live in Florida, by the way, so those of you who are like, "There's a lizard?" I know, like, I'll have friends down from up north, and they're like, "You guys have, oh my god, there's a lizard!" And I'm like, yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, well, one of my friends that first moved down here for a few months ago was like, "Oh, I'm letting the lizard inside of my home." Like, yeah, you're gonna stop that real quick.
Yeah, so our cats love them. They chase them around, and this one's outside, but she's still trying to get them. But yeah, I think that right now when she says, "Are we still sisters?" I think, like, that could mean a couple things. I think it could mean, are we still what we were then now? Or it could be just in general, are what we are now like, it could be a new type of sister.
Right.
Which I kind of think would have been the potential if Jinx didn't do this. I think that there's no way they could have gone back to how they were before.
No way.
But I think they could have formed a new, that was our cat jumping, a new type of sister bond.
Yeah.
What do you think she's asking when she says, are we still, that's what I think.
I think she's still asking if there's a connection to when she was Powder and Vi was just Vi, right? When they were little, when they got into stuff together and Powder. And Vi would always look out for Powder, right? So I think she's in a way asking, hey, do you still got my back? You know?
Yeah.
Because of what all has been going on. Because obviously Powder really does, Jinx wants her sister to be with her.
Yeah.
You know, and she still wants that connection. And so when she asks Vi that, I feel like she's asking, is there still a connection like that? Right? And I think when Vi says, of course we are, as we're going to see momentarily, nothing's going to change that. That's why I'm kind of like, but what do you mean? Because technically there is a change already.
Yeah.
It's been developing. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it every single time something's happened when they've reunited. The first time they got kidnapped by the Firelights, right? The second time she left with Caitlyn. You know.
There's so much to unpack here.
I know.
But here's the thing, is that I think that being Powder's sister is a core aspect of Vi's identity.
It is.
So when Vi says that, I think that what she's saying is, yes, I am the sister of Powder.
Yes.
That's who I am.
Yeah, I can see that.
However, it's like now that she's Jinx, is she the sister of Jinx? I think that's a different question, and I think Vi, when she says nothing is ever going to change that, she's saying nothing is ever going to change me being the sister of Powder.
But yeah, I can see that too.
But
there's so much in the back here.
yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, you said something now. It made me think of something. But now, like, Vi, even though she knows that Jinx is hurting people, I don't think that and it's clear that she doesn't understand the full extent of what Jinx has become.
No, she can't, because she's been in Stillwater for so time, right? And it's kind of interesting to think about it, though. And I don't know how Stillwater works, as prison works, but it's interesting how down there she would hear nothing, because it sounds like Jinx has caused all kinds of chaos, according to Marcus, before all of this. So it's interesting that none of that reaches down there, or maybe it's controlled so it wouldn't reach down there because Vi's down there.
I don't know, but it's like, at the same time, what's his name, who gets thrown into Stillwater in the beginning?
I don't even know, does he have a name?
I'm sure he has a name. I don't know what it is. But
Tattoo Man,
Silco's guy, he gets thrown in there. Yeah, I don't know if maybe Silco gave orders for his people. Oh, he didn't know Vi was in there.
No.
He didn't know. Never mind.
Caitlyn doesn't even know she's either, and she's been in Forcer for how long?
Yeah, never mind.
We're getting off track.
You can kind of spiral on why things are the way they are.
Yep, here we go.
And we were laughing also when I saw that this was gonna be in today's. I was like, oh shoot! I put this as the thumbnail for last week, and it didn't happen until this week. But here it is now.
I always knew you'd come back.
What's going on?
So this is like real dramatic.
What's really crazy, scarily cool, is the fact that she's not even looking, and she just throws that, and they all light up. Right? Was she practicing this?
You know what this calls?
Her accuracy's really good,
This
though.
goes back to when Powder was young, and she shot all of those little targets down. Like, with she has this next level genius and next level hand-eye coordination ability.
This is insane. These candles aren't lined up at all. Like, these two are over here.
Yeah. And
these two are over here, but they're all not. She lit all these up somehow? Oh, whatever, Powder.
Yeah, but again, she has this next level ability. Yep. But also what's interesting is that, like, how you say, oh, they're not even lined up. Like, this person with this next level accuracy set up this mishmash table.
Look at it, though.
So I think that's kind of one of the interesting things about Powder/Jinx.
Yeah.
Is that she's such a genius.
Yeah.
She has so much ability.
Yeah.
But she likes to kind of create chaos.
That's the Joker aspect of her.
That's true.
So let's take a look at this. We've never looked at this before. Hello, Silco.
Not like this.
And so obviously we've got the bunny rabbit here. That was Vi's when she was little, and it got thrown up there, and she retrieved it for powder.
Yeah.
Obviously we've got the Clagger doll. We've got the Milo doll, and we've got all this other stuff. We've got actual silverware that's placed not terribly wrong. We've got some interesting napkins. Just a little mismatch. But like, look at. I don't even know what the hell this is. It looks kind of horrifying.
It looks like bones or something.
It does. But look at this.
She like an animal carcass bone.
And what's interesting, and I want to notice, is someone else who watched this apparently like 30 plus times noticed that this is actually Powder's blanket.
Yeah.
When she was little.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. And we've also got this over here too. So just like looking at all of this.
Knowing that Powder / Jinx is an artist, it seems like this is kind of a masterpiece of artwork.
It is.
That she's created as kind of like an ode to her childhood. And an ode to all that Powder was. Yeah, it really is. In its way, it is a catastrophe masterpiece, right? But then, because you've got all this different stuff going on here, you've got all this colorful stuff that she liked to put on her things. For some reason, there's a 5-C here. You know, it's really interesting. Did they show a little bit more of it? Oh wow, we got like flies hanging out too. That's all right. That's interesting. So this is something dead. Could that be? You said it's a 5. I think it might be a 6, which is like Vi.
Oh,
right?
It could be.
Like Vi's Roman numerals.
Could be. Could very well be. It's so interesting. You got bugs hanging out here. I never noticed that too. She's also got something written on. There's like flies. If you go back,
I think that's like dust.
Let's see.
Is it? Let's see. I think that's just dust.
Nope, those are not. That's not dust. Dust doesn't move like that.
Okay.
And then interesting here, we've got stuff written on the Milo doll.
Yeah, her artwork, where she just very haphazardly, like with the oil crayons.
Everything has some kind of artwork on it. Like,
which even is kind of interesting to realize. Even when she was little, she was like using her mechanic mind to create things, but also like drawing on them with kind of a very artsy. You know, oil paint kind of haphazard, fun, like cutesy way. Yeah. So I think that that's one of the things about her is that she really likes to merge the like mechanical with things like this. Just like her mechanical ability to light all this up is kind of like you know, what brain, right brain? No, left brain thing with the right brain activity of like putting artwork. So it seems like she just is this like creative genius in both ways. Yeah, and she still has this very childish artistic style of her too, and it kind of reminds me of Pablo Picasso. Like, he is a master, but he would like when he was done making these wonderful like still life images, he started to realize he can have childlike stuff that he made. A lot of his famous stuff is like stuff that you're like, oh, a kid must have like made that, you know. But he had that childlike wonder. And for her, she's got all this like, as you mentioned, her accuracy is crazy. She's very genius, but she still draws like this very childlike. So it's like her childhood still exists in her. Yeah. This is the Powder of Jinx to me. Right, that's true. And the truth is, I think that side of
he took everything from us.
Will never go away.
No.
Right here, he stabbed Vander in the back.
And look, okay, here we go. So now we've got this another scene of this.
And that's so cool the way it's written. I know a lot of people will have stuff. Oh, there's that chair that people get. It's like a gaming chair, and it has Jinx written like that. Yep. That's so cool. Yep. It really is. Look how like pretty. But like, it looks like a pretty mess.
It is a really pretty mess. Even this plate right here has a face on it, you know. So interestingly enough, though, this pot here has her blanket, right? It's cut off right here. The rest of this is just the table with whatever else she's got going on here. But then you got this one chair that doesn't have anything going on with it, just a green cushion.
You know what? That looks like maybe the left to right, because we like read left to right. The evolution of Jinx. This is kind of like a representation of the evolution of Jinx. Starting on one side with Vi, and then like the cup that we think has 6 written on it, that's kind of Vi themed. The tablecloth that was her bedspread, and all the lighter colors. This kind of like romanticizing of her past. And creepily empty chair, which could represent, well, the one all the way on the left bottom. The bottom left there. Yeah. It's like a creepy... It's like a kid chair. There are creepy empty chairs.
It looks like a little chair.
To me, it's kind of... Yeah, that's interesting too. Kind of like the emptiness of the people that are gone from her life because she accidentally killed them. And then that moves through
this is Clagger's chair.
Okay, yeah. So that moves through. That could be those 2 chairs. We could say be for like maybe Milo and Clagger before, and then now this is the Milo and Clagger, because Clagger's on the bottom middle one. Yeah,
he's hanging up by this.
But the
right
2 chairs
here.
that are open could, let's say, be for Milo and Clagger, who are no longer there.
Good bell.
And then the new version of Milo and Clagger have their own chairs. There's no more tablecloth, so the old Powder is gone.
Yeah.
She's turned into Jinx, and this is what we have with Jinx. Silco on the end, the Jinx chair.
The Jinx chair.
However, but that's gonna be her Powder chair. So maybe not so much with the 2 chairs. But there is still emptiness, the empty chair that could represent the people that aren't there anymore.
It's a possibility for sure.
Yeah.
Especially it's so interesting because obviously right here with Silco, you just have no tablecloth, no nothing.
Yeah.
This is the Jinx Powder for right over here.
Exactly.
This
so
is
that's
the Powder
how
side of her over here.
She evolved from Vi into like Vi's sister into Silco's daughter. So I think that left to right is her evolution.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah. Just like he planned to with me.
Look at those bugs.
Okay. All the time saying you abandoned me.
So we're not League players, but apparently players have said that there's a big significance here with Jinx and Crows.
Okay.
When he knew the truth. Liar. We're missing someone.
Oh, jeez.
So it's interesting that she feels betrayed by both of them.
Yeah,
she
does.
brought them both here, and they've both been like the biggest influences of her life. But yeah, at this point, she feels betrayed by them both.
Yeah, you can see that for sure. Oh,
this is real creepy. You're like, what is she bringing? Everything here is already. She's wearing Vi's gauntlet with her writing. I never noticed that before. With her like coloring all over them.
Yeah, it is actually pretty crazy. So she took Vi's gauntlets and, she's able to wear them, which is crazy because, I didn't think she'd be able to have the strength to wear them. Maybe they're not as heavy as they look. But she did, detail the hell out of them in her Jinx wildlife fashion.
Yeah.
I paid your girlfriend a visit this morning.
So this is one of those things. People are like, why are you trying to deny that Vi and Caitlyn have a relationship when even Jinx can see it?
yeah, it's really true. And
it's interesting because notice she's like, she doesn't ask, oh, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
She knows.
I
paid
her
your
face.
girlfriend
Her face
a
looks
visit.
horrified.
She knows who your girlfriend. Yeah, her face is freaking horrified. Yeah. And I think at this point, though, I don't think she's horrified at Jinx. I think she's horrified by what could have happened to Caitlyn.
Yeah, agreed. Because as we know, Jinx is very unpredictable.
Because she's not looking at Jinx. She's looking at what Jinx is holding and being like, what in the hell is this?
Yep.
Morning. What did you do?
See, she's like in disbelief.
Yeah. But this is where I honestly believe, and I mentioned this before, and you may have as well with me, is that this is a test.
So
Jinx
I do see
testing her.
Jinx first makes a sad face, but I think that's kind of, in a way though, I think that's her MO. I think Jinx's MO is to kind of look really like someone that you would give your concern to and someone that you would baby. She kind of is like, oh, but I'm so sad, just like she does with Savika.
Yep.
She does with Echo.
Yep.
She gives these moments of what might be authentic, maybe not, we don't know, maybe manipulation.
I think it's somewhat, it's half and half.
Kind of sad, and so I think, yeah, she gives a sad face.
Yeah.
But it's kind of are you doing this to manipulate people? Or do you really mean it? I feel like we don't know. And I've heard that she's testing her.
I feel like she is, because...
Already. I mean, she's going to test her later.
Yeah.
But is she already testing her now in the way that she's presenting it?
She wants to see what her reaction is. She wants to see.
Her a snack.
I think she might already be disappointed.
Oh, yeah. You can
see that Vi is so concerned about this. Yeah.
Look at her face. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, Vi's that's dread. That's straight dread.
And she turns it.
Yeah, look, she can't even breathe straight. She's breathing in her upper chest. I'm a yoga teacher, so I notice when people get anxious, they breathe through their chest and they breathe shallow breaths, panting like that.
And you got that Joker smile happening right here.
Oh, that's true. A little bit of Joker smile.
She's
mischievous.
Yeah. Oh,
this is what makes me think. I think that she does have a lot going on in her head, but I do think that she might be I think the answer to whether she's trying to manipulate people or really showing real emotion is that she's doing both.
Yeah.
I think she has real emotion that she knows she can use.
Yeah.
And so I think that she's being real when she shows, like, these sad faces, and, like, she just did, like, these, like, puppy eye sad faces.
Yeah.
But then she's also like, ooh, but now I get to toy with you feeling sorry for me.
Because they've laid out...
I think it's both.
They show their weakness. She finds their weakness and she knows how to use it.
Yeah.
And she uses that. I mean, honestly, the looks that she gives are really upsetting looks. They're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, you go okay, you know? She's really good at what she's doing.
Yeah.
But Powder was like that too, and she had those sad looks too. So that's like her Powder surfacing, but also her Jinx is manipulating. So it's the worst of both worlds.
Well, I think part of it too is because she really thrives on approval.
She does.
She, like, tends to cling to either Vi versus Vi, and then it's Silco, and then when they reject her, so maybe it's more so inclusion or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's also approval. When they reject her or make her feel like she's unable to do what needs to be done, that's when she steps outside of what seems kind of logical and does these, like, really chaotic kind of things to try and help and try and regain the approval. Or I think it's really, more than anything, a sense of belonging.
She wants to belong because if you go back to what happens in Act 1 in Episode 3, when Vi tells her that she needs to stay, you know, but she's like, I'm ready, I can help, I can do this, right? She even has a complete meltdown after she leaves.
Yeah.
Because she wants to belong, she wants his approval, she doesn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
Right? So then, of course, she hatches, okay, I've got this hex crystal, I've got my monkey, I know what I can make happen because we saw the boom. Now, she didn't obviously know what that was going to do as far as scale of it, because it did take down, like, the balcony of Jace's place or whatever, and we're going to join the building. Yeah. But she did not know that.
Right.
But she's like, I need to do whatever I can to let you know that I'm going to be a part of this and I can do this.
Yeah.
But unfortunately...
Yeah, and then later, she does the same kind of thing with Silco.
She does.
When Silco tells her, oh, just take some time off.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She's like, she kind of feels rejected. I think more than anything, it's like a need to belong.
Yeah.
So in that way, she hasn't changed. But I think that's kind of why she's so manipulative, is because she wants to be accepted. She wants to belong so badly that she'll kind of use sometimes chaotic, sometimes underhanded,
anything she
and
can.
sometimes manipulative tactics.
Anything she can.
To, like, be like, oh, let me prove that I'm worthy of belonging. Let me prove that I'm worthy of your approval and all of that. And I think that's one of the reasons so many people love Jinx, because she's so relatable, because within all of us is this person who just wants to be accepted, who just wants to belong with those that we love, who wants to have the approval of others. And so we see her doing this kind of just to an extreme degree.
It's like, it really is. It's you know, and it's sad to see that, because when we saw her Powder, like, she's so, like, child wonder, and she's making these awesome things, and she wants to be with her sister, and then just how that goes, you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, how it all kind of plays out.
Yo!
So when you first saw this, a quick view of Caitlyn. When you first saw this, you were a little more freaked than me. I knew that I was like, this is not going to be Caitlyn's head. I think that they kind of made you think that it was going to be, and you kind of were like, yeah, you were like more scared than me, and I told you.
Not necessarily her head.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she would be hurt. Maybe her hand, maybe her arm, maybe some powder, maybe her eye, you know, just
or like
something.
A picture of her or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be like at her actual head, because I'm like, they're not going to kill off Caitlyn. They're just not going to.
Okay.
But I did think there was going to be something there of her.
Where she had, like, harmed her.
And then when you see this, and if you blink it, you miss it.
Yeah.
But this is the last thing that Vi saw of Caitlyn. And she's just, I can't.
Like, not the last time she saw her, but the last sweet Like, it's kind of like that moment, like, where people say when you die, your whole life flashes. Yeah. So this is kind of a similar moment to that, of, like, just, she's, like, afraid for Caitlyn's well-being. And so we see through Vi's eyes how she views Caitlyn.
Yep.
And she has this view of Caitlyn as this, like, really precious, sweet, caring person from a tender moment that they had together. Back to the reason why I knew it wasn't going to be Caitlyn hurt or anything like that, because of Jinx's pattern. Because Jinx has this pattern of kind of trying to make you think that things are worse than they are, and then, like, kind of misleading you. I think that it's not that she makes things worse than they are, but I think she's not obvious. The way that she does things is just, like, kind of like Harley Quinn, not what you think. She keeps you guessing.
Yeah.
So it's just like when she, like, made that sad face to Savika, and, like, she, like, acts like she's about to cry or something, and then she shoves
Sneezes.
her. Yeah, sneezes. That's what it was. She sneezes and shoves her and starts laughing.
Yeah.
So she likes to, like, misdirect and mislead people, and so that's why I was like, there's no way. It would be so obvious. She's trying to make you think that this is what's going to happen, and it's her way to kind of misdirect you.
But it's
so
also
like,
the
there's
test.
no way.
Back to the test.
Yeah, so you think she's all ready, because she's going to test her out, right?
She's testing her.
I'm not
She's
that.
already
Because she
testing
said,
her.
sheesh, I'm not that, you know?
Yeah, but the truth is that when she does come around, it's worse.
This is so
you know?
awkward and scary and
Yeah.
horrifying.
So
I
KB over here always wonders, how does she know that Vi calls Caitlyn Cupcake?
there's no way she could know. Anytime
Yeah.
they've said it to each
or
other.
no obvious way.
Like, there's no obvious way, because obviously when we've heard it, it was, like, really subtle. Unless she's, like, hanging around when she first called her that when she was nearly dying, which I highly doubt that.
Yeah. But you know what I just thought of is when they were young, Echo used to spy on people. He had that whole thing set up to spy on people. So I wonder if Jinx has a way of spying.
I mean, it's a possibility, but I think that's a little too obvious.
Could she... I don't think she found
And-
out from Caitlyn. Because something she could have
And when she
questioned
said it's been
Caitlyn.
real, Cupcake, on the bridge scene, she's facing away, because sometimes you can
And
read
far.
lips, and it's far away, so
And
she
far.
can't.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, but this still to this day, this still wigs me out. Like, it's clearly a cupcake.
You remember that meme? It's like, she protects, she attack, she makes
Caitlyn
Caitlyn
a
a snack.
She makes Vi a snack in this case. Yeah, this
Oh my
is just
gosh.
so wackadoodles.
And but it fits in with, like, the whole creepy, like, child.
I mean, it's
theme,
a
like,
possible.
oh, here's, like, a really cute snack.
Yeah,
you know,
but it's possible that she just was hanging out somewhere in the creepy and she did hear something. We just
Yeah.
don't know because
know.
we just don't.
I wonder if we'll find out more in season 2.
Maybe or maybe not. But this is when she's disappointed that Vi does not pass her test.
Act
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, she's I'm not that.
She goes, I'm not that crazy.
And then she kind of gives a look, and then she throws.
But she is, though, is the thing. I think she's just, again, trying to mislead.
Vi's just like, okay, I just like lost some years of my life.
Yeah, Maya's freaked out at this
So
point.
when she wheeled out Caitlyn, this is when I did think she did something to her legs, though, because I was like, why is she wheeling her out? Did she actually hurt her after all?
Well, if you think about it, Caitlyn's leg was injured.
Yeah, it was like right up on the thigh.
But I don't
area.
think Caitlyn would have gone easy, is the other thing. So, you know, this might have been the only way she could get Caitlyn
Well, yeah,
over
well,
here.
she got her in the shower somehow. We don't get to see that.
Yeah.
And then now she's got her like this. Look at Vi.
Powder! Leave her
This
out
is,
of
like,
this.
the last thing that Vi wants.
Yeah.
Vi, like you had told me, left Caitlyn to protect her.
She left
And
her to
I think
protect her.
It's partially because she has this view of really sweet, tender Caitlyn. We see it here, that she sees Caitlyn as this really sweet, tender person from Piltover, and she left thinking she'll be safe. Let me keep her here, and I'll protect her, and I'll go take care of all of these issues. And so the last thing that Vi wants is for Caitlyn to be in danger. And now Caitlyn is like right smack dab in the middle of all of these problems between Jinx and Vi.
And you gotta turn that frown upside down. Look at that, more Joker-esque.
And I think at this point Vi is realizing that she has no idea what Jinx is capable of.
She has no idea. No one really does.
That's
Jinx,
what she's realizing
Jinx
it, though.
herself doesn't even know.
Mm.
You know, you see these battles with herself when she was saying, when she's not talking to me like that. She's not here, you know, just like she's having that moment with herself. So she's not probably even sure what she's capable of, right?
Yeah.
And yay, Papa Sil.
Papa so.
Caitlyn's just like,
Oh, Caitlyn's eyes are all watery.
yep.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Where should I sit?
I think
Here's the
Caitlyn's,
game.
like, really...
Okay, back to what you were saying.
First
That
of all,
little
like,
small.
Caitlyn's really, like, empathetic.
Yeah, she
So
is.
I think right now, like, I think that even though she's probably concerned for her own safety, I think she's also really concerned for Vi.
Of course she is.
Okay, tell me about
Anyway,
this.
so we talked about the chair in the beginning a little bit here. This is, and I thought it was a kid's chair. This is the kid's chair. This is the
Uh,
powder chair.
Okay.
So Yeah, it's got that childlike wonder with that creepy.
And it has
writing.
the little toys like she used to make that were like supposed to be
blow
explosive.
Up. And there's her chalk.
Okay.
And then the plate. So here we go. There's the powder chair.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we go.
That's your choice, really.
So we have said this before. She shows the powder chair and the Jinx chair. By this point, in our opinion, there was no going back to powder.
Absolutely no way.
After setting this up, powder's gone.
I mean, after doing anything Jinx has done, powder's gone.
Yeah, that's not. You can't go back.
There's no way. She became Jinx the moment when he said, we'll show them all. And she's no longer my sister.
And you see that her eye.
Which is kind of like this purplish color it is now. And
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Powder's gone. Powder's not dead, but Powder is gone and Jinx is here to stay. But once again, manipulation.
Yep.
Make her go away.
And she's kind of doing what she told Caitlyn, give people what you want, right?
Oh, how so? Explain this, please.
Well, because obviously Powder knows that she wants her sister back. Or Jinx wants to know she wants her sister back. So she's like, if I say this to her and she does this, you know, she's not gonna get me back. But does Vi even think at this point? Like, she's like so upset and everything. Would she think there's a possibility that Powder could return to Powder?
I think she wants to. She certainly wants to, because like we were saying,
for me, it's
that's
like
a core part of her identity.
So exactly what you said. So for this,
but it's usually in a fake way.
Yes.
Oh, that's so true.
Yes.
Because she tells Caitlyn, pretend you work here.
Yes.
Let them think that you have what they want.
Yes.
Oh, you're so smart. Because like we've known since the first time watching this, there was never going back to Powder.
No, absolutely not.
But she's gonna make her think that so that she can get
Send her on her way in.
Vi's inclusivity.
And you can have Powder back.
Vi's approval. Vi's love.
Yeah, so Jinx is incredibly smart. But
I can't.
And then she failed her absolute test.
Yeah. Okay, so if you why do we think that she failed the test? First reason, she's obsessed with Caitlyn. Like, she sees Caitlyn as this, like, precious little being that she wants to protect. Cupcake Protection Squad.
Yes.
Yes. Number 2, have we ever seen Vi shoot anyone? No. Number 3, have we ever seen Vi kill anyone? No.
She just knocks them out and that's it.
So, of course, asking Vi to do this, first of all, like, Jinx doesn't maybe necessarily know these things.
No.
Or isn't thinking this way, but this is so far outside of the realm of the type of person Vi is, of the way that she handles her problems, that it would have been really out of character for her to be like, well, okay, and just, like, kill someone. Yeah. Especially someone that she, like, sees as herself being responsible for. Because Vander coded her. He made her into a mini Vander and told her that she was responsible for the people that were kind of, like, in her care. He taught her to be a leader, like, the same way he was.
Exactly.
So this would be completely out of her realm of character. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
And this is also the nail that hits the coffin, so to speak, that obviously Jinx now realizes that her sister is not number 1 to her anymore.
Yeah, like, she's not her sister's number 1.
She's not her sister's number 1 anymore. Right, this is it. Because obviously Powder would never ask Vi to kill someone for her, but they had, their close bond, and now that they're older, she wants to see, if you truly want to have me back, you will do this thing. Now for her,
she kind of set her up for failure.
She did.
Like,
she
really.
did. But because she still had this mind that her sister would do whatever she needed to do for her.
Yeah. I think it's that deep sense of need for belonging that she has, that she's like, okay, well, if I'm the most important thing to you,
you'll do
There's
anything.
also, like Vi from when she was younger, had within her this hatred of Piltover. because of what happened to her parents.
Uh-huh.
And furthermore, this hatred, because you see her when Vander carries her
yeah,
away, she looks at Piltover,
and
she looks at Piltover, and she gives this kind of like glare, like of hatred. And then, of course, next level is Enforcers. So, you know, we see that when she's little, that she hated Enforcers. So in Jinx's mind, maybe it's possible that she thinks that Vi, when she was younger, like, Vi wanted to go after them. She wanted to fight them.
She didn't want to kill them.
She didn't necessarily want to kill people. Yeah, she wasn't to that level. But I think that Jinx, if you think about Jinx's mindset, would Jinx kill someone?
Yes.
Yeah, she has. We've seen her kill people with a gun. So she's thinking very much only from her point of view. She's like, if it were me, I would kill someone for my sister. And not even someone... Like, the person she killed, remember, looked like Vi.
Yeah, it was the girl.
So it's not even someone who had wronged her personally. You know, it was just someone from the other side. So Jinx is like, I would do this for you. I would kill someone for you. But it's kind of like she doesn't see harming other people as negatively as Vi does.
No, she doesn't.
So she very much, like, she's like, this is something that I would be willing to do to belong and fit in. Are you?
Mm-hmm. And I can't help but wonder, too, because of how much disdain Vi and Jinx had for Enforcers, if, in fact, Vi makes Caitlyn go away, does she think that Caitlyn's trapping Vi? Like, she's, like, got her in her corner, right? And so for Jinx, she's like, well, you hate Enforcers, right? She was so surprised when she was with her when they reunited for the first time. You're with an Enforcer? Like, you know. So maybe to her, she feels like Caitlyn is doing bad for Vi, you know, in her own interesting Jinx way of thinking. So if Caitlyn's out of the picture, she's like, okay, Vi will be back to normal again, right? You just don't know.
Vi will be back to the Vi that I knew.
Exactly. But of course, we know Vi would never do that.
Yeah, that wasn't the Vi.
Here she goes. She's mad now. She's scoffed, and she's just like, she really won't do this? Now she's no longer playing games anymore. Now she's serious.
Yeah.
No! Powder, listen. We can just go. We'll leave.
So, interesting, right? So before, she thought, when Jinx brought over the platter, she says, what was it that she said? Like, and she opened it, she goes, I'm not that crazy. However, arguably, asking Vi to shoot Caitlyn, who she knows she has really strong feelings for, is even crazier. And then shooting Caitlyn in front of her is also crazier than just, like, showing her some kind of weird thing about Caitlyn on a platter.
And never come back. Where would we go?
There's Powder right there.
There is Powder. So what Vi is giving her is that sense of belonging. She's like, if you don't do this, and I think it's because Powder still is in there somewhere.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Powder is, like, the foundation of Jinx. I feel like Jinx is built on what happened to Powder.
Yes.
So, she's appealing, like you said, to Powder, and the sense of belonging that Powder has. So she's like, you can belong with me, but also, like, she's speaking directly to Powder because Powder wouldn't do this.
No. And
she's hoping, like, if you don't do this, you'll still be, a part of you will still be Powder.
Correct.
She's trying to, like, hold the Powder that's in there somewhere.
But you see it, and it's like a split-second flash. Now we're talking to Powder.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's not staying.
That's true.
Here we
like,
go.
The big eyes.
Here we go.
She makes, like, those big eyes, which are, like, a callback to innocent, childlike.
Powder.
It's true. We'll put this behind us. You'll never have to see him again, Powder.
This is why he said no.
What do you have to say about that?
And I can't help but wonder if Silco never intervened, and of course he would because he's Papa Silso. Would she have gone off with Vi?
I think so.
I think so too.
I definitely think so.
I think she really was thinking.
She would have been like, okay, this is what I have to do in order to belong. So she wants belonging.
Yep.
And so if
and
that's what it took, then that's what she would have done.
Here we go.
But she also wants to belong with Silco.
She does.
Jinx. She's lying.
Okay. And what were you saying about that one?
Oh, yeah, that was a lot longer than part 1.
Yeah, it sure was, because they're, like, really getting into
There's
it.
a lot more going on. And there's even more stuff we could talk about.
Yeah, they threw Caitlyn into the mix. And in the first one, like, you couldn't see exactly what was going on. It was mainly Vi kind of tied up Well, literally tied up.
Yeah, well, her tied up, and then you
In
have
the
like
dark.
Jinx in the shadows. It was actually really cool that they had that like that though.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, just wow, that scene, and that's only the second part.
Yeah, we have 2 more to go. Yeah, so we'll be sharing those over the next couple weeks, and if you want to make sure that you see them, please make sure that you are subscribed. Yeah. Anything else to add before we close up?
Oh, we want to talk about our live.
Oh, yeah. So we have a live video. We had been planning to do 60 minutes for 60 subs. So once we got 60 subs, which at this point we have 66 at the time of filming this. Might be even more by the time it comes out. We'll see. Anyway, so we are planning to do that. We are going to do it. We will go ahead and put up on Facebook. We're going to make a Facebook event for it. So also, if you want to make sure that you get updated on that, please make sure you're following us on Facebook. And yeah, 60 minutes, 60 for 60 subs. We're looking forward to doing that. So if there's anything that you want to, we already have some topics we want to cover. We want to share with you all a little bit about our past, about how we met, how we got married, and things like that. We want to talk a little bit more about Arcane. And if there's any questions, please do drop them into the comments so we can plan to talk about them then. Yeah, and then if you have questions and you want to join us live, you can chat with us and ask us those questions live on our live stream.
Woo!
Yeah, so yeah, thanks you all so much for watching. Look forward to connecting with you all again soon. Sending you so much love. Till next time.
Later!